Hi Student Success, welcome to Fall 2022 First 8-Week Student Success Seminar. My name is Dr. Linda Remark and I will be your instructor for this 8-week fully online session. I always like to start off my semester by hopping on to like a little welcome video that introduces you to myself and then helps you kind of learn to navigate the course before jumping into the very first week's worth of assignments. So the first thing I want to make sure you know is that because this is a fully online course, meaning there is no in-person meetings at all, there is no Zoom sessions, like there's nothing like that. So you have to complete what's called the Succeeding Online Orientation. So if you have never taken an online course here at the college, you will have to take what's kind of like an equivalent to a 6-module course. It's rather quick. Most students spend anywhere from like a half an hour to an hour, hour and a half, just kind of depends on how familiar you already are with learning management systems and the kind of time you take reading through and clicking through things. If you've never taken an online course before, again, you will have to do that. Otherwise, when you get into Blackboard to find our course, you will not be able to even see this first page here. So if you are watching this video from the email link that I've sent through, make sure that you take that orientation course. Otherwise, once you get in, you won't be able to access our class. All right, so let's say you've taken your orientation, you are in our course. The first thing that's going to happen is you're going to be brought to this Start Here section. So here is where kind of like your landing page, if you will, you'll log in hopefully every day, every couple of days, checking in. You'll see the course overview, which just basically gives you what sounds like just an overview of what to expect in this session. Some information on free connectivity if you're interested in looking at that through the libraries. Here is a video tour from our eStark State Department. So this is the online kind of specialty area. They did a quick video. It's under 5 minutes. You are welcome to spend some time looking at that as well to get familiarized with the 8-week course. Then you have your Instructor Welcome. So this just tells you a little bit about myself, the fact that, again, my name is Dr. Remark. I am teaching this 8-week course. I'm also teaching the 16-week version of this. I'm teaching reading classes on campus, college success courses. I teach just a mixture of fully online, fully face-to-face, and then Web 2, which is the middle ground, meet 1 day a week, the rest online. It has information where I got all my degrees, about my children, just so that you can start to get to know me a little bit since you are stuck with me for the next 8 weeks. After the welcome, you have what's called the master syllabus and the course syllabus. So the master syllabus, I'll show you here real quickly, is just a very general syllabi. It does not get very specific into our class specifics. It's just an overview, like in student success, we're run credit, there's the course description, here are all the general learning outcomes that we meet, as well as the specific course objectives that this class goes over, and then some general college policies where you could go to find information on those policies, disability support, so if you need academic assistance, there's information on how to go about documenting and getting that kind of academic help, computer use, and then different student success resources, many of which we will talk about in this particular course. That's the master syllabus. Now, the one that's a little bit more specific to us is the course syllabus. So when you click on that, it's going to open up, and then you can actually also open up on a different page or if you like it. I like opening it up differently. There is a PDF of this course syllabus. So again, this is all web. We do not meet face-to-face at all. Here's where you can expect to find me in my office. If you wanted to be, if you're on campus for anything, you can pop in any of these days and times. I'm on campus more than that, but that's when you can find me in my office, grading, lesson planning, having student appointments, that kind of thing. Now, because a lot of my students who do take this class are fully online, if you would prefer to meet with me like via Zoom during these times, I can set up like a virtual office hour. So if you wanted to meet with me like on a Monday at 10 o'clock and you don't want to come to campus, just set, quick phone call, quick email, and I can set up a Zoom and we can meet that way, or just a phone call if you are more comfortable doing so. I'm also willing to set up a Zoom or have a phone call in the evening. Now, I do have 3 young kids who are very involved in 1,500 things, so oftentimes our evenings we are running all over, but I am still typically, if you can see the bottom of my screen here, I am still usually on the computer late into the evening working So I'm always willing to do that, especially the first couple of weeks of the semester when people are getting accustomed to everything. Here's my extension for my on-campus. Even if you leave a voicemail, it'll send me an email saying, hey, you have a voicemail, so I can check that even through the weekend. And here's my email address. So I will say that unless I am teaching face-to-face, I'm pretty quick to email back. So I like to make sure that I do a very timely response, especially again those first few weeks when students are still getting used to everything. We do have a textbook in here, although it is free and it is online, and I will show you that here shortly. Here is the breakdown of all the grading scale. You do have discussion posts. I will say that this is an 8-week course, as I mentioned before, so it moves very, very quickly. So almost every week you'll have at least one, if not 2 discussion posts that you'll have to complete by Wednesdays for attendance purposes. So if you post on time by Wednesday, you get 100% attendance. Now let's say you have an off week, you forget to post until Friday, you can still get partial attendance. You can get 50% attendance for that occurrence. Now you're almost getting graded twice on your discussion posts, because not only do you get attendance points out of it, but then you also get like assignment points. So if you have like a chapter 1 discussion post, you are getting points for posting in the chapter 1 post, but then you're also getting attendance points connected to it. So it's almost like a double grade. So that's why I say, even if you're late, still post, because you can still get full credit on the actual assignment part of it, even if you're a little bit late for the attendance purpose. So pay attention to those weeks with discussion boards, whether there's 1 discussion board or there's 2. Now, if there are weeks with no discussions, which that happens a couple times in the 8-week session, that means you need to complete all assignments by Sunday. So if there are 4 assignments, for instance, sometimes there are quite a few, then you'll need to complete all 4 to get attendance on Sunday. If you miss 1 or 2, then you're going to get docked your attendance points as well. You do need a 70% or higher attendance grade to pass this class, so just make sure that you're checking in frequently, especially again an 8-week course. I cannot stress enough how much is going on. We're taking a 16-week course and boiling it down to 8 weeks. So there's nothing cut out, it just moves quicker. So you really need to be online as often as possible. Here's some information about withdrawal. With an 8-week course, you have until October 3rd to get this off your schedule. So let's say you get into the semester, things are just moving too quick, or your work schedule changes and you've got too much on your plate, whatever the case is, you have until October 3rd to get any 8-week course off your schedule before it's just on there regardless. And then down here at the bottom, here is the calendar of everything coming up in the semester. So you can see here, again, every week, week 1 just like hits the ground running, man. Week 2 is not so bad. Week 3 is really heavy. And then you'll see again, like week 6 is kind of heavy. So there's a few really large weeks. But you can see I've always put in here, like if you have discussion boards, if you have more than 1, I say, hey, you got to post in both. And then everything else is due on Sunday. Every discussion board, you also need to respond to 2 classmates, and that's part of your credit for that. And I'll talk more about that in your weekly assignments so that you know what to expect for that. So there's the calendar. I always recommend for students for the syllabus to either print it out or download it and save it in a file somewhere, just so you have easier access to it. All right, so the rest of the Start Here folder, you can see, as you can see, are just some resources. Here's the textbook right here. This is going to be embedded in all of your weekly folders. This is not the only place you can get it, but right here you'll click and it's going to bring you right away to chapter 1. I like this book because it's really easy to navigate. So it clicks you right in, and then as you read or whenever you're ready, like bottom right hand, you just kind of navigate through there. Say you want to go to the bottom of the page, click there. You can go back. You can search for a concept or anything right up there in the upper right hand corner. You can go to the table of contents. Let's say you're looking at something specific to chapter 4, so you click right in here. So that's why it's just really easy to navigate. And something I always tell my online students, because every one of you in here is like on a different place, right? Some of you are college Credit Plus students, so you're still in high school. Some of you graduated high school within the last couple of years. Some of you are older students. Maybe this is your first time in college, or maybe this is your second or third try. Some of you already have careers. Some of you are changing careers. Some of you are going to school with your children. Tons of different scenarios. And so because of that, there are some cases in our chapters that honestly won't apply to you, because of where you are in your life. And there are some that are going to really be relevant. And so I encourage you to really just hone in on what is going to be helpful and applicable to your situation. And I'll say that, as we go throughout the book. Also down here, you just have, again, some other resources, some general expectations, some grading, some resources for Blackboard. So lots of extra assistance there as needed. That's the Start Here section. My guess is as the semester goes on, the first couple weeks, you're not going to need this page quite as frequently. So let's go ahead and go to the Lessons section. This is where a lot of your action, if you will, is going to take place because, as you can see on my screen, you won't see on yours yet, this is where all your weekly work is going to be stored. So before we get there, let's talk about this. Here's another link to your textbook. So another way to click and get access to that textbook. Here are 2 discussion boards, and I'm actually going to walk you through how to post in a discussion because you are going to need to do that in almost every week. So I want to make sure you know right off the bat. But these will both be open all semester long. So first is the Muddy Point. So think of Muddy Point as a forum where if you had a question, you would raise your hand in class to ask. Same kind of concept here. You're going to raise your hand. You're just going to type out your question. So to post in any discussion board, you're going to click in. You're going to hit Create Thread. You can put your subject. So I'm just going to say I have a question. Down here, you're going to type here, and you're going to hit Submit. Now, here's the catch. Anyone can answer your question here. So it's not just me. Anyone can go and answer your question. So that's why if it is a very specific individual question about your own grade, your own assignment, just send me a message directly and I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. Otherwise, feel free to post your question like, hey, I'm confused on this. Does anyone have any tips? And then feel free to answer if you know the answer to anyone's questions. To respond, you just simply post, click the name of their thread, go to hit reply, and then post your response right there and hit submit. That is the Muddy Point. Again, that is there all semester long. The other one that is there all semester long is the Student Lounge. This is just a really informal place. Think of this as like having a chat with your classmates either before or after class. So you can go in, you can introduce yourself, you can talk about like a movie that you saw recently or some tips or something going on around campus, whatever the case might be. This forum does not count as attendance. This is just a very relaxed, I still check it and I still respond, but it's a very relaxed forum. So those are the 2 forums that'll be there all semester. Something else that I want to just make you aware of is your required syllabus quiz. So when you go to take this required syllabus quiz, and I'll talk more about this in your week 1 folder with your videos there, which is coming out later, you have to take this syllabus quiz to open up week 1. So you click in and you have to get 100%. So as soon as you get 100%, you're going to see the week 1 folder brighten up like this one is right here. Now I've had students take the quiz and then they say, I can't see week 1, and I go back in. It's because they did not get a 100%. So if you get like an 80 or a 90, it's still not going to open for you. You have to go back in and take it until you get 100%. So keep that in mind that you will not even get to start working on week 1 until you take this quiz and get 100. All of the weeks are set up very similarly. I'll show you week 1 just as a quick preview, although I will get more in depth with a future video. They're all going to start off with an overview, what you're going to read, and then the assignments that you're going to be doing this particular week. And I always have, again, like when those assignments are due. Then the materials folder is kind of just what it sounds like. It's the materials that you're going to use for the week. So you're going to have, and here's where I'll show you, click, it's going to take you right to chapter 2. So there are embedded links to the specific chapters. There are slides, and whenever you start watching the individual weekly videos, when I do lecture, I will sometimes lecture using like the textbook. Sometimes I will pull up the slides in the materials folder and I'll kind of walk through those. So this is just what it sounds like, the material that you are going to use for that week. Then you're also going to see your assignment folder. So here is where all your assignments are housed. And again, in your weekly folders, I will walk you through all of this so you know exactly what to expect and how to go about completing those assignments. I just wanted to show you that oftentimes that's what you're going to see when you have these weekly folders. They're set up very similarly. The other thing I want to point out on this lessons tab before I move on is the student services assignment. So your student services assignment by the end of week 8, which is toward the mid to late October, again, this is an 8-week session, mid to late October, you have to attend a student success workshop or a student event. Now, When I say student event, it could be on campus like these are right here. We have a welcome picnic, kind of welcome bash coming up. There's online events, and then almost all of the workshops will also be online through Zoom. I will show you where you're going to get these. Oftentimes you're going to have to go to, and it's probably going to bug me out. Oh no, you're going to go to academic support and then student success workshops. Now they do not have the new semester loaded in yet. Eventually you will see here September, October, and so on. You'll see a list of all the workshops. Almost all of them will still be Zoom. So that's what makes it really nice. It's not going to expect you to come to campus for a workshop unless you prefer to do something on campus, and you can take advantage of one of these on-campus opportunities. So you'll go through and you'll see what kind of sticks out to you. Now remember, this is an 8-week session, so you're only going to have until October. If you find one you like, go ahead and you'll click register. You'll register for it, put it on your calendar. I'm pointing this out now because even though you have until October, the end of week 8, which ends on October 21st, it's a Friday, you need to be thinking about this now. So I often have students who just wait and wait and wait, and then it's too late. They can't get an assignment done or they can't attend a workshop. So I will talk more about that in a lot of your videos coming up. So that's the lesson tab. Over here, you also have the course messages. This is where you can message me when I am working inside the course, grading and things like that. I will often just message you right within this learning management system because it just takes a little bit more time to go out into my email, look up your email, plug it in. So you can also message me in here. You just go to create message. You're going to click on the 2 and you're going to see everyone who's enrolled in this course. You can see there's a lot of students in here. We have several sections combined. You can message a fellow student if you want to for whatever reason, but here's how you would message me. You find my name, there I am, click on it, move it over, put your subject here, whatever it might be, type here, and then hit submit, and then I will be able to respond to you in here. So that's the course messages. Here are the course announcements. You can already see my announcements for week 1 are already loaded in here. I do try to keep in pretty close contact with you the first week in particular. Anything I put in as an announcement, I will also put in as a course message. So you're going to be seeing them in several different ways. I will also have links to the videos inside your course announcements and messages, so you can click on the videos. You can see eventually I'll have them uploaded right there as well. So that's another way for me to stay in contact with you. The course calendar is where you can go in and you can see when your assignments are due. I have a couple classes in here at once. You can see the different colors are associated with different classes. So you can look and make sure also, in addition to the calendar, your syllabus, your videos, your course messages, and your announcements all have your due dates in there as well. So lots of ways to make sure you're staying up with everything. And then there's my grades, where you can go in and just make sure that you always know how you're doing, when you submitted a certain assignment, when it's been graded, and your overall grade. The rest of this over here are just resources that you can use, digital library, if you need to go to the help desk, whatever that might look like. So that is basically the navigation of this course. I will, as I mentioned before, upload individual weekly videos that go over not only the lecture, but then also the assignments so that you know exactly what you're expected to do every week. I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to a great 8 weeks with you. Bye.